Hey guys, just a climbing here, and before starting the video, I just want to say fucking thanks a lot. I didn't expect to get 100 plus subs. I mean, holy shit. I didn't know I did this so good. So yeah, thanks a lot. And I feel pretty flattered for, well, people actually subbing and liking and all this, since it tells me, hey, I liked your stuff, I want to see more, and that I want to see more. Wow, it kind of feels really good. I have never experienced something like this. So thanks a lot. I mean it, and I hope that you stay for more things, since, well, Paladins is just starting, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be talked about. And before we start the video, I just wanted to say that I want to do a 100 special. And what I'm thinking about to do is a Q&A. You don't know what my name is, you don't know, well, my hair color, my eye color, we don't know who the hell I am behind the voice. Some people do, not all. So that's why I want to make a Q&A. You can leave down in the comments, what do you want to know, what would you be interested on, and all that. I will feel really grateful about actually answering these questions and all that. I have this goal of having 50 questions and answering every single one of them. But if I don't make it to the 50, which is kind of probable, I will fill it up with things that you might be interested in, or little story times, like micro story times. So yeah, that's about it. Leave your questions below about what do you want to know about me, and well, let's keep on making the video. First of all, let's start with the official news, like the actual things that we know that will be happening on Paladins, and they are three. Those things are: the first one, they will be releasing a PvE mode. The second one, they will be releasing another PvP game mode. And the third one, Torvald is a fact. Let's start out with the most simple stuff, since, well, they are announcing it on the official Paladins Reddit. And first of all, it is the PvE mode. Hi-Res wants to include a new PvE mode into Paladins, since they say that the way that we use our loadouts and also the item shop will change a lot if they include a PvE mode. So they are really interested on checking that out and like releasing that out. Another thing about game modes is that they are bringing back a game mode that was on the closed beta, which is survival. Survival is basically a permanent 5 versus 5 death mode, so it's 5 player versus 5 players. If you die on that round, well, it's a permadeath until the next round. Pretty basic, but sounds pretty cool. And finally, and well, last but not least, Torvald. Oh boy, Torvald seems to be like this kinda mage who makes shields and also steals shields from other frontlines, so fuck me, right? Fuck me. Now, keeping on with Torvald, now he can project those shields that he stole on his allies and also himself, so that's really cool. He's kind of like this shield mage. And before I keep on with the video, I mean, there's this girl who bought a karaoke. Like, there's my apartment, and above my apartment there's her apartment. She bought a karaoke and she just screams like for about 5 hours every single day. And well, guess who woke up? So yeah, I'm really sorry if you hear on my voice recording some noise in the background, since, well, she is really loud, and if you hear random screaming in the background, well, you know who it is. Let's keep on with the video. I found this data mining from the patch 40, and well, there's this thing with data mining. Sometimes the files may not be updated, sometimes the files may be really old, and well, you know that in a game that's in beta on development, things might change really quickly. So we don't know if this are the actual cards for Torvald. We don't know if they're 100% what there will be inside the game as soon as Torvald is released. So have that in mind. With these cards, we might have had like this little idea of how Torvald will be played and his main abilities and all that. So let's go on with the cards. Now we can see that he has a description: protect your allies with arcane mind, and well, that relates a lot to the thing that we were talking about of him being this kind of shield mage. Now we have his armor and weapon cards. This means that we have like the general cards, like the general buffs. They don't just specify it in like one ability. They're like general traits to the character. Now let's see, we have Glyph of the Fist, which reduces our reload speed to a max of, well, by a max of 20%. We have Glyph of Freedom, reduces the duration of crowd control by max 24%. Glyph of Health, it will increase our base maximum health by 600. And Glyph of Siphoning, the Glyph of Dashin, eliminations grant you 400 shield. So we can see that this guy just says tank everywhere. We have our typical shield, crowd control reduction, and also max health bonus from every single tank. So yeah, it's pretty tanky. But this thing, the reload speed thing, makes me think in two things. One, does he have a really fucking slow reload and we have to buy Theft Hand? Or two, he's a really nice damage dealer as also a really great frontliner. So that's my doubt about it. I think that if he's both like a really great damage dealer, but he also has this actual ability of protecting his teammates and stealing a shield from another frontliner, hey, that sounds really good. Moving on in the next set of cards, we can see that there's something really similar about every single card in this set, and it has recharge at the start of every single explanation, so we can come up with that he has a movement that is called recharge. What does it do? We don't know, but we know the buffs. Now let's read every single card name and the max buff that it gives you, so we can have this kind of like an idea of what the skill does. Now, who the fuck comes up with these names? Eldritch Speed, I don't know. Gain 32 movement speed during recharge. Conduction, reduce the cooldown of recharge by 2%. Induction, recharge generates 8 ammo per second. Vital Grasp, recharge generates 20% more shield. I think that the last one gave us way more of a little idea of what this move does. So it says recharge generates 20% more shield. So now we know that this ability will give us a shield of some sort. We don't know of what health the shield will be, but it will give us a shield. And also it might be kind of like a buff. So you can use this thing, get a shield, and also gain movement speed or reduce cooldown of this so you can get more movement speed continuously and all that. And the ammo thing, it just like reaffirms the theory I have of him being a damage dealer. Since why would you give a tank more ammo so he can do more damage? So that's the thing, I'm really liking this character so far by making suppositions or well like theories about what he will be looking at his cards. Because I mean, gaining movement speed will allow you to actually chase down an enemy, and having the passive regenerating ammo, hey, it will give you the ability to chase down and kill your enemy. So hey, I think they're talking about a tank that deals some nice damage with his basic attacks. But anyways, let's move on to the next ability. Protection. We can see the same pattern as we saw on the last set of cards. Now let's do the same thing. Hearthwarder. Activating protection grants you a 400 shield, okay? Life Giver, activating protection heals you for 200. Time Shaper, reduce the cooldown of protection by 2 seconds. Wind Dancer, protection grants a 40% movement speed to its target by 2 seconds. Well, for 2 seconds. So the last card, Wind Dancer, gave us an idea, and I think that this protection move, well, this skill, what it does is giving a shield to your ally, and well, they're trying to give you rewards for actually shielding your allies. Let's say if you shield a Navy, holy shit, she will be fast as fuck and she will be able to flank really easily. Or you can shield one of your like let's say to frontline composition, you can shield a Fernando so he can get really fast to the actual point of the siege. So hey, that says a lot about the ability, and it relates a lot with the thing of protect your allies with arcane might. So hey, it has a relation, it makes sense. And last but not least, we have the last ability, not his ulti, but another ability, since we don't have any cards for our ultimates, and it's Runic Blast. I think that is his secondary source of damage. So let's do the same as we did, well, last time. Arcane Etching, oh fucking hell. Activating Runic Blast grants you a 400 shield. Oh, more shields. Scribe's Wit. Reduce the cooldown of Runic Blast by 4 seconds. Infusion. Activating Runic Blast will heal you for 300. That's more tankiness and survivability. And Rune Torrent. Activating Runic Blast generates 16 ammo. He's a damage though, he's a tanky damage dealer. For fuck's sakes, he is a really tanky damage dealer. I get this kind of vibes from Torvald that he will be not the typical well, beefy guy who has a lot of health and a big ass shield, but he is, well, basically this kind of damage heavy, well, not heavy damage, but he has some nice damage. He doesn't have a lot of health and amazingly big shields, but he has kind of like this small shields that he can constantly spawn or well create or whatever. But he also has this utility for his teammates, since he can give a movement speed boost to the one that he uses protection on. So he has this kind of utility sustain, since he also gains health from a lot of abilities if you use some cards. And that's about it. He's not the typical conventional tank. He's kind of utility, sustain, and damage dealer, kind of like a middle in between on the damage tree and the frontline tree. And also a thing that I saw, a world that I just noticed, is the fact that he doesn't, well, any of his abilities like say something about stealing the shield, like your enemy's health from, well, their shields. And I think that maybe, just maybe, his ult is like from all the nearby shields that are, well, surrounding you, well, your enemy's nearby shields, you will drain a portion of their health and they give it to your allies. Maybe that's the ult, since I didn't see anything about like stealing health from your shields, from your enemy's shields on the card. So maybe that's his ult, and this would help a lot to make really great pushes or wombo combos, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean that Hyros is trying to do something different, and he's not the typical conventional tank. He's like this damage dealing but utility mage, and it's really cool. I think that he might be really used on the heavy team compositions, like people who are really synchronized together. He might be really useful. And also the fact that he is like trying to be this champion that's based on giving shield to your allies. Maybe Hyros is pushing a little bit more the fact of you have to play as a team, yeah? So, well, who knows? I mean, I'm really excited for this kind of champion. He's really mysterious, and his release hasn't been, well, about his release, it hasn't been talked about like a lot. It just, hey, there's this new champion. Okay, so that's the thing that I think it's really curious. So yeah, that's about it, guys, for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope that you also got a little bit intrigued on the fact of Torvald being this really weird kind of non-conventional tank. But yeah, that's about it. This is Just a Colombian. Remember to like and subscribe, and have a great time.